of breathing or metta-bhavana practices. So so I just wanted to say a few words generally before going into a few specifics and then guiding you into a meditation. So when you're either relatively new to meditation or have been meditating a long time and tend to be a bit sporadic in how often you meditate, there's a couple of useful things to bring to mind to help you. And one of them is having determination to sit regularly, to be consistent. Now, I know that it can be difficult if you're working, but I think it's just really useful to be decisive about that. And to as much as possible, to arrange your timing of the evenings before so you don't go to bed too late, so that you can actually get up to meditate in the morning if you have to go to work or do other things. So this comes back to regularity and keeping a thread of meditation from day to day. Because I think in terms of effectiveness, continuity and keeping a thread is one of the most useful things to help you develop your meditation over time. And that is in contrast to just meditating when you feel like it. Because sometimes that might just fall away. You might just forget that you really enjoyed yourself the last couple of meditations and other things came up, and and then you a month later you realize you haven't meditated. So continuity, regularity, clear intentionality is, I think, one of the things that really helps develop your abilities and skills in meditation. So that's very, very general. More specifically, how you apply yourself once you sit down is like a basic fundamental skill. And intentionality is really important here. If you just have I'm going to go for it kind of attitude, a sort of go hard on the meditation and mindfulness of breathing, which often happens, that needs assessing, I think. Because being too forced and pushed, over-focused, means very generally that there isn't enough receptivity to what's happening. It's more just making something happen, i.e. the focus on the breath, but not actual much awareness and openness to the breath itself and to the effect that staying with the breath has on you in calming and stilling and making your mind more stable. So this sort of counterpart to just effort is receptivity and openness. And it, to the mind that is thinking it has to be one thing or the other, you have to overcome that dichotomy and think, actually, it is possible to do both at the same time. You can be focused and intentional, and at the same time open and relaxed. You notice when I say that, I leant back. And when I said focused, I looked forward. So it's body language. So what we're going to start to introduce, what I'm going to start to introduce in the beginning of this practice, is that intention to harmonize in a way and synthesize focus and a more open, receptive, relaxed awareness that takes in what's happened and combining them. Okay, so if you'd like, if you haven't already, set yourself up for a meditation. Does anyone need any guidance for their sitting? Just put your hand up if you do. No? Good. So I'm going to guide you into some things which I feel are very important in practice. So starting to give yourself the message quietly in your mind of arriving. Arriving into your body and how you are. Just settling your attention into your body and how you are. Working your attention around your body, first of all, to notice any tension and consciously softening it, loosening it, or letting your shoulders drop. And then being aware of your body in terms of any discomfort. And if you need to just slightly adjust your posture to help with that discomfort, do that now. And if there is discomfort, just play with bringing an open awareness to that, an expansive awareness, rather than either shutting off from it or focusing too much into it. An awareness that takes in what's discomfort or uncomfortable, and at the same time a broader awareness, more relaxed, and even you could say a kinder awareness that, as it were, takes in the discomfort if it's here. So now, being aware of the body, bring awareness more up to the heart chest area and just how it feels, very generally. And just start to notice if you can feel or even hear your heartbeat. Now, letting the breath come more to the foreground of awareness. And everything else is still here, but it's more in the periphery of awareness. So the breath in the foreground. Becoming aware of the pace of the breath. Is it slow or fast or medium? Connecting with it rather than thinking about it too much. Still staying with the whole flow of the breath, being aware of how deep or shallowly you're breathing. And just a little tool here. If your breathing is quite up and quite shallow, on the next out breath, push all the air out from the belly and then relax the belly and just let the air flood in, and do that twice. So pushing all the air out, then relaxing, letting the air come in, and then after about 2 times just letting it normalize with no control. So now being aware of the breath in terms of smoothness. Does it flow smoothly? Letting your awareness take that in. Notice if there's any sense of you controlling the breath rather than it happening naturally. And if there is any control, just say to yourself, relax, relax. And notice if that makes a difference. Now noticing, in still with the whole breath, if there's any discomfort or comfort anywhere in the breathing process, and just noticing it and enjoying the comfort and expanding awareness to take in the discomfort. And we're going to get more specific in the breathing, coming down into the belly and the breath. So just quietly in your mind, just give yourself that direction. The belly and the breath. And letting your attention come into that area and it become the foreground of your experience. And now particularly being aware of the movement in the belly, quite naturally caused by the breath coming in and going out. So the movement in the belly and the breath, settling into it. And just very quietly in your mind, just give yourself the directive, stay with it. So it's changing, but you're staying with that area of change in the belly and the breath, feeling it. Developing a sensitivity to your staying with it or sinking or drifting away from it, noticing quickly when you move away and gently nudging yourself back, gently with kindness but clarity. A little tip, just check your head. If it's drooping, it might mean something. Adjust it and refocus. So now we're going to exercise these two qualities of being focused and applied, and at the same time open and receptive to what's here. So your focus is on the belly, you're applied, and at the same time there's a quality of just taking in what is happening. And just to help you for a minute too, you can put your hand on your belly and just feel the movement. So your hand is, as it were, a biofeedback. It's showing you that something is moving. And you connect with that movement. And in connecting, you applying yourself to it and relaxing into it. And if you want to, just put your hand down or just leave it there as suits you. But you have focus now on the belly and the breath. And at the same time, taking in how it feels, relaxing into it. So there's a sense that you're going to the belly and the breath. Perhaps adjusting that going to, so it's not too hard and forced or too laid back. Just playing with that range till you get it just right for you at this moment. Once you feel you've got that balance in your effort, then at the same time, just be receptive to how the belly and the breath feel. And taking it in, letting the experience fill you. Letting the breath and the experience, as it were, energize you. Being open to qualities of energy in your body and your belly. How does it feel? Does it feel alive or dull? Become alive to it. And if your attention keeps falling away one way or another, be gently and kindly persistent in coming back. Gently and kindly persistent in coming back. Now broadening the awareness of the breath back to the whole flow and rhythm of the breath again. So a very broad area of experience. Taking it all in. So you're going to it, but you're also taking it in. Just playing with that. And now, bringing attention up to the breath in the nostrils. So it's a bit like zoom focus, narrowing your attention into this small area of sensation. And balancing your going to and taking in, being receptive. Letting them come together, the focus and the receptivity. Being patient with it. Being sensitive to when your attention veers away, or you lose it, gently coming back. With patience and kindness. And just noticing the effect that doing this is having on you, generally, on your mind and your energy, and then coming back into the breath. And resting. Just sitting in awareness, taking in how you are, staying with the experience rather than thinking about it too much. And as you just stay with how you are, be open to one or two descriptive words for how you are now, coming out of the how you are. Letting those descriptive words, as it were, fade away, but staying with how you are. And now ask yourself a metaphoric question. If I'm water, what kind of water am I like now? Ask the question, and then just be open to an image. Connecting with the qualities that are here, and just check, does the image take in how you are? And finishing. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and sitting comfortably. So at the end of a practice, it gives you an opportunity to connect with the differences and the changes that have happened from when you started. You might feel changes might not be very much, or they might be quite big, but you connect with that change. You might feel more settled, more calm, more focused, more energetic, for example. And just connect with the fact that there is a difference, that there has been a transition or a change, by just staying aware and connecting and appreciating that change happens in doing that. And being open even to the confidence in that it makes a difference. So I'm just going to say a few words. That last thing that I said about connecting with noticing a difference keys into what helps your motivation to meditate regularly and consistently. And that is the awareness that it actually makes a difference. which counters maybe a cynicism or a doubt. It's just a method, it doesn't. But actually you start to connect, well, no, it does make a difference. Even if it's very slight, that's important. Because you can get a sense of progress over time. And I just wanted to, in a way, reference a different context. One of the things that I've been doing over the last nearly 11 years is teaching at a big European development bank every week, either online or in person. And there's one particular person who is there every week, sometimes twice a week, because I do it twice sometimes. And she's been coming about 7 years. And she came because she had had a stress-caused breakdown from her work. And she just thought, I think mindfulness might help. And she just sort of come out of that collapse of everything, her confidence, her abilities, into the meditations and into the classes. But she herself is very clear about the progress that she's made, and she actually looks completely different. It's really, from my point of view, it's just fantastic to see. She's just, really radiant, actually, and able to express in the class to everybody that this works. You stay with it, and it has an effect if you stay with it, if you're regular. So, and that happened I did the class yesterday, and there she was, communicating that. There were a few new people, and they're going, oh, really? Oh, well, that's good to know. So it's not just going to be difficult for the next 7 years. To great. So in this way, you encourage yourself to keep going, to be consistent, to apply yourself.